Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for
Hi.
tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to the Comedian Cats with your boy D-Wiseguy. Got my guest tonight, Miss
Hi.
Glorely.
Hello. I know I finally made it. I
Yeah,
finally
like
made it. Hmm? I don't know if it's frozen on your I think it's frozen.
finally hear me.
I think okay, I hear you now. It was frozen for a little
Can you
bit.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We were here like let it go, frozen, right? So how you doing on
Yeah.
this Thursday night?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, just drinking my wine and just living through the pandemic.
Yeah. So we're gonna be joined by my co-host Kels in a few.
Okay.
He told me he's gonna check in about 10 minutes. So don't be alarmed if you see somebody else in the Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
No, it's
All right.
fine.
I want to say R.I.P. to your glasses. I'm
Oh yeah, they
sorry.
broke today. My Gucci
Yeah,
glasses. They're on the table somewhere.
yeah. I saw the music that you had to it. I was like, oh snap.
It's over. I'm going to the eye
Yeah.
doctor tomorrow. I only have one contact in right now. So if my eyes start wandering, it's because I only have one contact in. Yeah, but I've had those glasses for like 2 years, maybe three. I got them when I quit my job and I told my boss to suck my dick. I had this thing called a flexible right. I told him I had a flexible spending account, and with that you have to spend the money on the card the week of, or else all that money goes away. So I had
Right.
about $700. It's like a health benefits card, and I went to the eye doctor like, give me your most expensive glasses here, and they gave me some Gucci frames. But the
Right.
the actual glass is more expensive than the frame because I have really bad vision.
Yeah. I can see that
Yeah, I
by the
can't see
lens.
everything.
I can see by the lens because
Yeah,
my wife's lens are kind of thick. So I
yeah,
know.
thematic. Yeah,
Yeah.
so. But
So
those are
you
my
out.
babies. I guess it's a time of all good things come to an end. So those, I guess I gotta just start. I'm starting fresh. I'm redoing my apartment. I'm getting new glasses. It's,
Yeah, I
I
know
guess, an
you turn.
introduction to 30.
Yeah, you turned into an interior decorator. Like I was like, wow.
I had to change the wall. Like it looks crazy in here, so I had to put, especially because I was doing a lot of interviews, a lot of Zoom stuff. So like I had to have like some kind of exciting wall. Because when
Of
you put the
course.
invisible Zoom wall, people just think you broke, and it's like mind your business. So yeah.
Oh man. So I had an accent. Are you Dominican?
I am Dominican. I'm a black Dominican. I know that we have some slaves in the island. I'm a descendant of the Dominican slave trade. The transatlantic slave trade. I consider myself Afro Latino, so I think that's like the word everybody's using now. So I don't mind using it. It like
Right.
acknowledges my blackness, but also I am Dominican. So yeah.
Right. So you're like the Dominican Rihanna.
I would say essentially, yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
That's
because
what people are saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw you the other day. I was like, oh, okay,
I
getting
did
dolled
a
up like Rihanna.
Right, we did like it was like a cute concept. That me and the she's another comic. She was doing like a thing where we just get ready together. So it was a cute way to pass the pandemic. I think a lot of us are trying to find ways to be creative, and it's just been hard. Like you want to kind of do shows outside, but you don't know if it's really safe. I've stopped by a few of them, but I'm like, it gives me too much anxiety. I just can't do it. Yesterday I went to a show and I was just like, I can't stay here for too long. But it's hard because when you do the outside shows and everybody's spaced out, I don't feel like you get the same effect. So
No, you
it's
don't.
just,
No, you don't.
yeah. So
No,
it
you don't.
sounds like nobody's laughing, but it's just because everybody's spaced out. So it's been hard.
And then it just sounds like Washington Heights, whole bunch of honking.
Right. It's just all that. But I was in Harlem. I was at Harlem Tavern. And it was just like, I think everybody just wanted to listen to music. So when they started hearing comedy, they weren't ready for it. But it was
Right.
a nice crowd. I want to say maybe like 100 people there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of people, but it's too much for a pandemic. I linked up with some girl and we're trying to figure out like how to do creative pandemic shows, but I just don't want to put somebody in a compromising situation. I don't put myself in a compromising situation. And I'm just a hypochondriac. Like before the pandemic, I was already like, why didn't comics put the mic all up on their mouth? That wasn't my thing. I didn't like that shit. They just be
rocking
like,
the mic. They
yeah,
rocking the mic.
yeah, and it's an open mic, especially at the open mics. It's just like everybody be at the open mic. It's like, and you putting your lips to it, it's just too much. I don't like it.
You can't be doing that. Like,
right.
What's wrong with you?
So
and I don't care how much sanitizer you have right now. Like, you're not supposed to be doing that.
Right. So
there's a proper way.
Right. So I don't know I seen like comics do creative things, but I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know when I personally I'm not really gonna get back into the swing of things until like January.
We hope.
Yeah. I mean, I do other things too. Like, I just be doing, like, I like doing the interview stuff. I be doing like social media things. So like, I already wasn't just relying on stand-up for like income or anything, but it did cut into the pockets because a lot of my money comes from producing shows. So before the stimulus check came, I was like, it's quiet, it's over. But then the stimmy came and I was fine. The stimmy and unemployment, you know?
Yeah.
So
because a lot of people are making more with the unemployment than they are their real job.
Like, I paid off my student loan. I had 2 private student loans I was able to pay off. I paid off one of my credit cards. I got a grant to pay because I thought I was gonna get evicted because I was really behind on my rent because I do my shows quarterly, and because the shows are canceled, I was like, I think it's quiet. But I feel like the pandemic has been more of a blessing than an issue for me. So, but I do acknowledge that some other people didn't have that experience, you know.
Yeah, like this time has been hard for a lot of people. Well, the world.
I needed time to just sit down because if I didn't have, I won't take the time off. I would just go every day. I was out every day doing comedy. I was out, I want to say 6 days a week, just up performing, you know.
Well, I think you were trying to be legendary.
I was working on it. That's what I'm trying. Like, if we're gonna live one life, we might as well be legendary.
You were trying to be legendary, like
but that's
like your line.
Right. That has been paused. The legendary stuff has been paused because this is. I think I did a set and I was like, oh my God, this whole shit sucks. I hate all my jokes. So, like, I hate all the jokes. They all whack. I don't want to talk about this shit no more. But so I have to sit down and what I ended up doing was, because, you know, I think a lot of people, they run their creative career different ways, right? I'm like, before I'm a comic, I'm a person, you know? And I feel like I had to really sit down and reflect and, you know, reconnect with some people and really look into, especially when the whole thing happened between Dykeman, whatever was going on up in Dykeman, I was just so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, I need to educate the Dominicans. Like, how do you not know? So I sat down and I wrote like a blog post that was just supposed to be maybe like a long blog post, but then I don't know what, I think sometimes when you do your art shit, you be in a trance. I just started writing, and when I put it back on Word, it was 16 pages, single space. So I'm like, I'm just gonna write a book on being Afro-Latino. So that's what I've been working on, just kind of digging into like my identity and what that means as I'm navigating Hollywood. Because I don't, obviously, like, I'm gonna go up for the Black roles, but it's also like I'm Dominican, so it's a privilege of being able to play the game 2 ways. So I just want to make sure I'm not taking up space that, like, I don't want to take up space that I want to say earn, but that could have gone to somebody else. Obviously, I'm talented, but like, I understand that I kind of play in 2 worlds. So I'm just trying to figure that out. So I wrote this blog post and it's been nice.
Do you ever go anywhere and they start speaking Spanish and they don't think you can understand?
All the time. It happened to me like a week ago. I was printing out I go to like the printing spot to print out stuff. I was printing out something for my dad and it was in Spanish. So the guy's like, oh, let me just give you the English stuff. And I'm like, señor, yo hablo español. And he was, es mi papel. And he was like, oh my God, yo no sabía. Like, obviously I had the mask on, but it also kind of depends on how I wear my hair. Like, if I do my hair just naturally, like I usually wear a half wig because like I didn't have time to do my hair. But if I do my hair all naturally, people just think I'm like a light-skinned Black girl, and then they just talk to me in English. But when I have my hair straight, then they know that I'm Dominican. So they even within my own community, they be playing games with me, and I don't like that shit. Yeah. But I think that's like the diversity within the Dominican community. There's so many you don't even know. Everybody looks so different. There's like
Right. It's
sometimes
all
like a
shades.
prototype. Yeah, like we all look so like I don't look like my sister, but she looks like my mom, and obviously we're both blood sisters. So it's like it's a lot. But it happens to me all the time. I'm just like, I'm tired. But I don't get like as offended, but it's just kind of like a reminder of like, oh, people like that I'm not in my own community sometimes, you know? So that's pretty much it.
Right. That's like when I first started my job, they thought I was Dominican. And I was
I can
like,
see that. You look Dominican. Like this, I can see that.
I was like, he said something to me and I understood it, but I was like, okay. And like, yeah. He was like, all right, all right, all right. Like I
That's
understood it.
so funny. That's
I
funny.
understood. So then like after that, I asked my dad, I'm like I really want to get into the history of the family. And then I looked into the history of the family, and we have Dominican in the family.
You look, I mean, I'm not trying at all. It's not a flirtation, but you look
Nah,
like one of
but
my ex. I have an ex that the same kind of features. He's Dominican, looks the same. Like y'all probably might have been cousins like 3 generations ago.
probably.
So,
And then when
but
they
that's
see my
just
last
like.
name, they be like, "Oh snap, yeah, you not Spanish?" They be like, "You
Wait, what's
not
your last
Spanish?"
name?
De Souza,
De Jesus?
Souza,
Oh, Suzo?
yeah, De
Oh.
Souza, yeah, De
Oh,
Souza.
yeah, that definitely sounded like there was some kind of Dominican shit happening there. Like anything with
Yeah,
D, like there definitely was some Dominican shit happening.
yeah. They be like, "What? Like you not Dominican?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah. But you know,
I'm,
I think all of us needed to use the time to look back anyways, because there's a lot of history that we don't know like at all. Like even me, I'm like, I had to look back and I started doing some research and I was like, I didn't know that during the transatlantic slave trade that the first stop was in the Dominican Republic. Like I didn't know that. And I feel like that's like, I think people are selective with the history they want to consume. And if like, yeah, I feel like if all Dominicans knew that, they would stop playing this game like I'm not black. Like literally, we're
right.
all coming from this, we're on the same boat. So I think it's important for everybody to do their history.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, it's very important, especially with Juneteenth passing and
Mm-hmm.
you know, us not knowing what it is and always
I mean, I
celebrating 4th of
always knew what
July.
it was because I was my birth, June 15th, my birthday's in June, and I heard Juneteenth. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? What is that? I used to get really excited about that. And I actually, when I went to school at Syracuse. There was one summer where I hosted a Juneteenth pageant, which it was like years ago. And I'm so surprised that this isn't something that's more mainstream. Like to do something every year and like have these girls like really be recognized for like their beauty and not have to be validated by the whites. And I thought it was really nice. I was one of the hosts, one of the pageant judges. So it was cute. And that must have been like in 2012 or 11. So yeah.
Wow.
So I'm a Zeta. So what we do, we have like events. So like one of the ideas that I pitched was to have a Juneteenth book. Like we do a book club and every Juneteenth we talk about the book. So I thought it was great that, people have been already starting doing like traditional things that way, but now it's everybody. And there have been some like, I guess points of contention because some people like, should we celebrate the white man freeing us? But it's also like, I feel like it's the more genuine freedom day, like to actually celebrate freedom versus July 4th. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
I think you disappeared. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody tried to call me. I think it's kind of like what holiday is that? Columbus Day, where where we celebrate the guy basically that found $1 in
but
your
they're trying
house.
to get rid of it. They're trying to get rid of it.
Oh, they're trying
It's
to get
more
rid
like
of it?
Indigenous People Day. Yeah, they got it. So I think like some of those holidays that we celebrate, even the things that we take into part day to day. I've always been the kind of person that questions everything I take part in, but I think this was more like an awakening for everybody. Like, where are you really putting your money? What are you really supporting? When you celebrate holidays, what are you really celebrating? And I think people just kind of woke up a little bit more to really recognize like all these little decisions matter. So yeah. So it was cool. I think I went to like a barbecue for Juneteenth. It was cute. And me and Janae, so I think you interviewed Janae a few weeks ago, but like early in the pandemic. We were talking about how like on our podcast that this is great that we have the holiday, but now we don't want like CVS to start making like Juneteenth, you know, decor and it be all fucked up. Like, we don't need y'all to do some stupid shit, you know. So
Right, they gonna mess it all the way up. You know that.
mm-hmm. I'm sure they're gonna miss the mark, and there's gonna be a whole new marketing thing. Like CVS did something stupid, you know, like, you know, I feel like the companies be using like us being upset as a marketing tool. So
Right.
you know, these hoes.
So I see you have a podcast with Janae, as you said. What's the name of the podcast?
Rich Vibes and Overdrafts.
Oh, what made you guys come on
with the
with that
podcast
name?
or with the name?
With the name.
Oh, we were gonna call it Broken Bougie, but somebody had that name already, so we went with Rich Vibes and Overdrafts because I feel like it's a good one thing that I feel like I'm not really like, unless you ask me, I'm not gonna just volunteer information. I guess people just assume things about me, right? You see somebody's Instagram profile, and you're like, you just make up whatever story you want in your head about this person. But you know, when I got into comedy, I had left my corporate job, which I was really comfortable. And when I got into comedy to do it full time, it was a complete lifestyle change. So I was, you know, we comics, we broke, we trying to figure it out, but we still have very rich aesthetics and likes. So it was like, that's kind of like how the name came up. And me and Janae have been friends since 2001 or 3. So it's been about 17 years. So I'm like, you know, it's easy for me to have a podcast with her. And we have this great respect for each other, but we can also joke around with each other where it's not like, ew, bitch, you don't know me like that. Like, bitch, I do know you like that. But we be joking. Right. And it be fun. Like, we know that it's not ill-intended. So it's like, it's good because she gets to get off her jokes off on me and I get to get off my jokes. And it's a good way for us to, you know, still keep the comedy thing going, especially during the pandemic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we was on a little summer break because she broke her foot, but we're gonna record again tomorrow.
Yeah, I was thinking, what did she do? Kick the TV? Like,
she was trying to double dutch.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, Janae, you not, nobody. I think maybe she expected all of us to see her move like the double jumping rope, and we was eating steak, chicken, everything. We turned around, she crying like, what happened? It's like, oh, I twisted my ankle, and nobody like believed her. But then she started crying for real. I was like, oh, this is not a joke. So she busted her ass, but it's fine. It's good because now she don't gotta have a hot girl summer. She's gonna be in AC.
Well, you know, this year is not hot girl summer. Last year was hot girl summer.
Yeah, we missed the mark. If we didn't have hot girl summer last year, this is definitely not it, you know?
Yeah. This year's entanglement
summer. But it just got entanglement for the pandemic because I don't think people are really meeting people. No. I feel like if you met your person during the pandemic, then you might as well stay with them because y'all overcame together. But
yeah,
I think it's hard to date. I don't want to date nobody. I don't want to catch COVID.
Even though people outside not carrying no mask.
I think New York kind of forgot. Like, we kind of got over it. It's like whoever, like, we just got over it. But in LA, shit is turning up now.
Yeah, it is. Because they're not wearing it at all. They're like, the president's not wearing a mask, so we don't gotta wear a mask.
They're wilding. I don't care what leadership is doing. I'm a hypochondriac. The first 2 weeks, I have my gloves, I have my mask, I have my antibacterial soap. And it's funny because before the pandemic, I was already getting in that mindset of like, I'm in comedy, first of all. In comedy, you're talking to a lot of people, a lot of, like, if you're good after a set, people want to come talk to you. And sometimes they're those kind of people that they talk and they spit. And that's like my biggest fear. I don't know if you ever had like when they talk and like they spit on you by mistake. And I just kept right. And it's not on purpose, but it's like I get very like hypochondriac. If anybody touches me or like accidentally spits, I'm like, I just got diseases. I can't. So before the pandemic, I was already thinking about like ways to be I'm already super hygienic, but even more hygienic. Like when I take the train, should I just wear gloves or stuff like that? And then the pandemic came. I was like, oh, great. We was all on the same page. We was moving this direction anyways. Because it's so many people. You don't know what people be doing with their hands. I just don't want to be. I don't want none of that shit. Oh my God.
Right. That's like whenever I would take the train before the pandemic, I would use like a paper towel or whatever.
Right.
And hold everything. Like, nah, we're not doing that.
It's
So you
just too
got
much.
people,
And it's New York, so these are things that you kind of tend to overlook. But it's like, the whole city is just dirty. So
the whole world is dirty.
yeah, I mean, there are cities that are cleaner than New York. Like
Oh yeah,
we live in a trash bag.
yeah. I know
Yeah.
when I go to Canada, I'm like, oh man, it's so clean here. Like
Right.
you feel like if you drop a fry by accident, you're like,
Right,
what?
you're gonna get arrested. So, but yeah. So like depends. I don't think I'm planning on meeting nobody during no pandemic. It's just like because you don't know how some people weren't taking it as seriously. Like I was one of those people that I sat home. I only went outside when I had to get groceries, and that was it. But and now like I'm starting to like go out a little bit more. But like I'll meet up with one person or like one-on-ones, but I
Do
don't
you have
like
a
it.
lot of do you have Goya in the house? You have a adobo or no?
Now we done. I have to finish 2 more beans and we're done with Goya forever.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's 2 more beans, 2 more cans of beans. Yeah. But yeah, it's
Some
not.
people like, oh screw that. Some
They
people
was
like screw that.
wilding.
I'm still
I
enjoying.
didn't even see, right. I didn't see the whole thing, but if Trump is supporting it, then I don't need to be eating it.
No. You're like, I can make my own beans.
Right. I'm not gonna lie, them black beans was so easy to make. They were good. But we have to let them go. We have to let them go.
Hell yeah. That shit is crazy. So what are your thoughts about entanglement? The whole
I
entanglement
think it's great.
situation.
I feel bad for Will because I feel like they're pushing this relationship that clearly is not working, right? After so many times. I mean, I get it. Some people really value like they marry one time and that's it. But this is a second marriage. So I'm like, I don't know what they're protecting, maybe the money. I think I saw a meme saying that Will was really smart because he got his wife to admit that she cheated. So now if they do get a divorce, he doesn't have to give her anything. So maybe that was on purpose, you know? But I think that it was a savage move, and I respect her for it. She said
Yeah.
entanglement. Like, who says that? I feel like by saying that, you just trying to hide something. At that point, you should have just said, like, we had a little hookup, whatever. Right. So entanglement sounds like something that you thought it was premeditated, like you thought about it. So if they're happy, that's all that matters. But I love that word because it gets to undo all your entanglements. You get to reduce what it was. So like anybody that I dated, don't claim me, I don't claim you, and that was entanglements. Don't call, like when I'm famous, please don't say that you know me. Don't say you dated me, please. I'm about to be. I already know some of my exes about to be so embarrassing. I already know.
Yeah, they're probably.
And I'm not to deny them.
Well, they're probably on the other side saying, "Oh man, never dated Gemini." Like, no, don't say that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know one of my Scorpio, this guy used to date. I'm sure he says that, but it's fine. I'll be saying the same thing about Scorpio, but the thing is that if you're talking about it so much, on some level they impacted you. So it's a touche. You're talking about me, I'm talking about you. Like, don't date a Scorpio, don't date a Gemini, but it's because it was that intense.
Right.
So
we're just intense people. Like, you got to understand.
I don't know if I think that we're more like really. I really think Gemini people are like a mirror, a reflection, because we adapt to people. I'm cool. Like, whatever you give me is what I give you. So I think when people don't like what they see, they take that shit out on you. But I'm like, I'm giving you the same energy that you're giving me, So
right.
Yeah.
So do you feel like August Alsina did that because he had an album coming out?
Absolutely. Why are you talking about why are you promoting it? I mean, one, he could have been trying to free himself from something that he was holding on to. And two, if he has an album coming out, that's directly correlated to the two.
Yeah. I feel like people feel like he got some grown woman pussy and he didn't know how to act.
I feel like actually Jada was the one in the wrong here. I feel like she kind of strung him along and he really liked her and she knew that it wasn't going to be something deep for her. But for him, he thought that possibly, why not? And she played. I feel
like, yeah, she sure did. She was like, got you.
Right. Which I don't really like that. Because it's like if somebody is coming, I can see how it could be easy to just slip into, being intimate. But if somebody is really like telling you that they're sick and like they don't feel well and like they're like, abusing drugs, I don't really feel like sex should be even in the equation, right? But the thing is that it's so much easier to say these things than when you're in the moment and maybe they felt something in that moment, but she knew that she couldn't really give him what he wanted. So.
Yeah. Do you feel like the age difference was a problem or?
Not necessarily. He was like 20 something, right?
Yeah. I think he was like 23 when it happened.
That's still a little young though.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna be a cougar, like maybe 25 and over. Because at 25, like your brain is formed, that's who you are.
Yeah.
But 23, you're still forming your brain, so I don't know. It's really whatever works for her and him. I just think they weren't on the same page from the beginning, right? So he wanted something deeper and she didn't because she was married.
She should have put that shit in writing. Like that's what you gotta start doing. Putting shit in writing. Like, oh.
Right. But sometimes when you go into relationships, you don't really know what is gonna be the outcome of that either. So I guess it's hard to like plan that out. Maybe he went into it trying to have a good time and he fell in love. You can't control any of these things. These are out of our control.
No, you're right. It's like, even when you tell people your expectations, somebody's gonna feel some type of way.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
At the same time, at different time periods, it is what it is.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Hey, welcome to the party.
Welcome, Kels.
What's happening? What's going on? I've been tuning in. I didn't miss nothing.
Where were you?
I didn't miss nothing. Yeah. I was around. I was preparing.
Oh my God.
I was preparing. Like, as you can see, I live in Wakanda.
Okay, welcome.
The hairstylist is not popping right now. Like, you see, I gotta fix up.
I would have never noticed it if you didn't point it out. I thought you looked fine.
Yeah. It's all good. You gotta point out your flaws.
Right.
That's funny.
What's happening though, bro?
I mean, I told him too, I'm wearing a half wig, so I feel you. I understand.
Fuck that. You mad pretty. Al, look at you.
Thank you. Bonjour. I was gonna release the shirt over the summer, but I just put everything on pause. Cause I'd always be saying bonjour and all that shit, but I was like,
yeah, you should release it.
Hell yeah. You ain't promoting that on your Instagram page via podcast?
Nah, not the bonjour collection. I'm gonna have to push it back to September.
All right, because I've been tuning in and the whole time I've been watching people about that podcast. So why don't you let the people know that?
That what?
Your podcast.
Oh, you want them to know about it?
Who watched it?
No, I talked to them. Like, me and Janae started. We've been friends for about 17 years, and we just be talking about shit that happens to us, like our opinion. We be roasting each other, and just talking about taking like topics each week that are related to like the female experience and just talking about it. So like we talked about like, how do you know if you're really in love with somebody? Do you listen to to music when you're having sex? Just stupid shit like that, girl shit.
Well, I mean, I know I'm kind of late, so I just want to dabble on a couple things because I saw you touch on it, but I kind of want to hear you expound on it a little bit more. Like, because of this whole thing that's going on, we kind of got to know, like, especially from a female standpoint, what is your take on the difference between a relationship and an entanglement?
Good one.
Well, the entanglement is that we're supposed to know what it is, but August didn't know what it was. You see, that's where it is communication. But entanglement is just like you having a good time, and there's not like, don't claim me after this. A relationship, I love you, and we're gonna work through this. But entanglement, don't say that you know me. Don't go on the internet and say you know me. That's what an entanglement is.
Wait, so how many entanglements have you had? Because you sound like a pro.
I'm a pro. I'm just like, I'm a woman. I'm 30 years old. I've definitely had a few entanglements. Y'all don't need to know how many, but They don't need to. Don't talk to like. It's fine. It was a moment. It was a phase in time, and the entanglement is over. I am now released and free.
All right. So if that was Will instead of Jada, would you accept him the same way?
And could he use the word entanglement?
That would be hilarious.
No, I don't think I could ever use that word to get out of anything.
Hell no.
That's an interesting point. I don't have the answer for that right now. I think people would have been harder on Will. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And the guys would have been going ham. The guys would have been having a moment on the internet. They just say they're in an open relationship, right? So it's like you have to accept what they say. And if she's at that table, she's gonna stay with him, that he was in an entanglement, and we accept it. But the thing is that Jada has this history of like doing she has an entanglement with Tupac from the grave. Like, it's just like, do you love Will or not? I don't know.
She talking about that love for Tupac, like I'm married to you, right? I'm sitting right here.
Right, like he's there. But if it would have been Will, I think the world would have been harsher on him. But I'm not a judgmental person. Like, it's okay. It's not my relationship, so I don't care.
I just find it hilarious that girls don't understand when they cheat on guys and they say, well, y'all do the same thing too. Now y'all see the effect when a woman does it versus when a man does it. When a woman does it, you see how out of pocket this is, regardless if the man
So here's the thing.
Oh, man.
Right. Okay. From my experience, and I'm just talking about my experience, I'm not cheating on you unless you fucked me over several times. Like you crossed the line several times and I'm a cheat. So I had an experience like that where it's like I knew that my man was cheating on me several times and I went to cheat and it was all hell broke loose. It's like you started it. So I'm not saying that Will was doing it first, but what I'm saying is that Will was doing it first.
That's because niggas we got a different perspective on shit. It's like,
just don't cheat. If you're gonna be with somebody, don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat, but we get into entanglements. And if we get into an entanglement with someone, we're looked at down upon and all of the rest of this stuff.
Because why are you entangled? Why are you cheating?
Black men don't cheat, but you keep saying the cheat word for it.
I'm done. I'm so done. Not because y'all be hurting our feelings.
That's because you can't hurt a man's. If you ever watch the news, you can't break a man's heart. When you break a woman's heart, it goes on Facebook. Her homegirls take her out. They all get woman and everything. When a guy gets his heart broken, that woman ends up on the news. She's dead. The guy that she was cheating on, he's dead. Him committed suicide.
But why be so deep? Y'all be hurt y'all be so butt hurt. Like y'all get hurt one time and it's over for trust. Like y'all be hurt in high school and talking about you can never love again. Like, oh God.
That's because guys, we love differently. Once we let that love out, that's it. Like women, y'all have babies. Y'all can take a different type of pain. God has put y'all in this world to be able to take a different sort of pain.
That's true.
And all sorts of stuff that
and I don't like it. I've been through mad pain.
Yeah, guys, we can't do that. That's why he didn't let us go ahead and give childbirth and shit like that.
I wish he would have gave it over to y'all. That would have been great. Y'all, what do y'all do on Earth?
Just imagine a dude. You can't imagine no guy.
You still need us.
To be
what do y'all do on Earth?
What do you mean? We serve and protect.
And provide.
Serve and what?
Serve, protect, and provide. As like my man D said.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
What do you mean? So you mean to tell me if something was to go down violently and you with a man, you don't expect for him to protect at that point in time? It's not on him?
That would be nice.
But that would be
nice. Wow.
I'm just saying, like, I think there's some antiquated like thoughts of like how like a man needs to be, and it's just like y'all could also be vulnerable. Like, grow up and have feelings and feel and get your nails done with us and fucking get a massage and like.
I don't know, because then when we do that, you say we too damn emotional.
That's not true. I feel like these conversations are projections of people's personal experiences, right? You don't know that. You don't know. I be with my man, we be having self-care Sundays. We tell feelings to each other. I don't like, I just feel like at this point, at this age and time, if you need to feel like you need to do things to be a man, then I don't want to be around that energy. I just feel like you can be a man and not be this like what everybody tells you gotta be.
What if we just do whatever
That's just my
and just
experience.
identify as a man? We could just
That what?
identify as a man at this point in time.
That was identical?
We just go get our nails done and we're gonna talk about our feelings and identify as men. Don't even worry about it.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. I'm
Nothing.
agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
That's what I'm saying. I just feel like, and let me tell you something. I don't know if we're into astrology here. I know that my friend over here knows that I be doing astrology, but the Gemini energy has a lot of like male energy. So I feel like when people, especially when I date men, they get not turned off, but they get like their ego gets like shook or whatever, because I'm very aggressive, you know? But I think there's something sensitive and beautiful about me. Huh?
Two personalities, that's why.
Yeah, like I'm really aggressive. Like I'm gonna be direct and I'm gonna tell you like, boom. And that's what it is. But some men be like, oh, I'm the man. I have to be the person that leads. Like, shut up. Not you, my friend. Not you. But I'm just saying that. So I'm just like, it's something beautiful about having a good balance of both, of having that feminine energy, but also being masculine when you need to be masculine. Like, you don't, I'm over that phase of dating men that just feel like they can't be sensitive. I just can't do it anymore. I can't.
So you're basically, yeah.
That what?
So that, Kels, we gotta go on TV and say and make an announcement. We're in an entanglement, and everything will be better. That's what we gotta do.
Or you could just stop cheating. Y'all can just. I just don't have time for that shit either. Like, we have money to make. We have a empire to build. If you don't know how to like keep your hands off other people, then I can't. But there's also people that are okay with open relationships, and maybe men should communicate like, "Hey, I want to have an open relationship." And
that was the whole thing. That's why I wanted to get back on. That's the only reason why I wanted to touch on the subject, because you made a bunch of valid points, but we had to bring it full circle where it was like you said a lot of things about men cheating. This thing was about and her entanglements.
I said men. I did not say men cheat. I didn't even mention that.
She spun the block on us one time.
I loved it. It was a great representation of savagery, and I was like, this is the energy we need, because I feel like there needs to be a balance. Like women can be out here as savage too. Like, don't play.
That's why that's exactly why
cheat more than us.
That's the energy I was looking for coming from Gloria just now. That's what I wanted to really
and
hit.
It's okay. And that's fine.
That's the energy I was trying to hit. You know why? Because you know she the Spanish Rihanna. She ever told you?
Oh, yeah.
Jada?
That's Spanish Rihanna. You ain't never knew that?
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, Dominican Rihanna. I don't have the time to. I mean, I'm not one of those. I'm not a savage. I'm not a savage at all. Not from my understanding. I don't think
she's just aggressive.
I'm gonna go ahead and let her have it. I don't believe you, but I'm gonna let you have it.
I think I might have savage tendencies, but I don't mean to do. Like, I'm not out there doing it on purpose. That's not me. Look, this is the way that I operate. I'm completely into you, or you gotta pray to get my attention, because it's really hard for me to focus on people. Like, I'm either completely into you, which some men don't like that, right? They don't like people that be all into them. Like, ew, why you like me so much? Or like, I just don't engage at all. I'm very like, I don't do limbo.
You don't do limbo?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of crazy. I did, just because like I didn't intend on us going to this kind of
but here we are.
We have other questions that we definitely want to ask you. But since you're just on this topic, I just want to throw it out there because maybe some people honestly want to know too. Like, how do you feel? Do you think that guys feel more intimidated trying to talk to you because after knowing that you're a comedian?
I feel like I haven't really dated during my comedy career, right? I only dated maybe one guy, and I feel like he was super. We were both pretty alpha people, so it didn't bother him. But I do feel like men, now that I'm a comic, they be trying to tell me jokes, like, or try to be better than me, because they assume that as a woman, like, okay, you do stand up. That shit ain't easy. Good luck. And for me, it's giving me a new sense of power of like, I feel like before I used to put men on this pedestal, like, wow, like, men are so amazing, and like, I need to look up to them, because I was very like submissive. But now with stand-up, I really could see through people's insecurities. And when you have male friends and you do stand-up, you could see that all men are they're insecure. Like, we're all insecure, but men just mask it differently. So it has been really hard for me to date because I could just tell, like, when a guy is like doing the most for some kind of validation or whatever, it's just like, that shit is corny. I don't want to talk to you no more. So I feel like it hasn't really been, I haven't really dated as a comedian, and I don't want to date either. But I'm trying to put myself out there.
I just was asking just because, like, I honestly had to go up on the stage after you before.
I remember.
And like it wasn't like you just left the crowd just empty-handed. I had to go in there swinging for real. Like you
I
quite a
appreciate
month.
that. You know, I'm still like a baby comedian. I'm working on things, but I appreciate that you respect me because I'm working. I'm gonna get to where I need to go.
Yeah, she's gonna be legendary.
I'm about to be mad legendary, like for real, for real.
Now she got a lot going on. She do Gap commercials with a family and all types of crazy
everything.
Shit.
I be on Gap. I be on Kohl's, Kmart. I take all checks. You know.
Come on, man. I do my research. I know about
Hell
you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I know
Dímelo.
about you. You ain't just looking at a regular person. We ain't regular journalists. I did my research.
I like, you know what, I love that extra step. I really appreciate that. It makes people feel good too. Like when you go the extra mile, people just like get more open and shit. So that's, you know, I really appreciate that.
I think that what you and Janae are doing together is amazing because we don't get a chance to really see females
together
that
doing stuff together.
Yeah, they holding themselves together, they keeping themselves up, they're actually uplifting. You guys are not looked down upon. Everybody has respect for you guys, and for you guys to kind of like team up together and actually do what you guys are doing right now. I just want to see you win, honestly.
I appreciate that. You know, when we started the podcast, we didn't really think much of it, but then everybody's like, yo, I listened to it on my way to work, or like when they was going to work or in the car. I'm like, wow, like y'all really fucking with this shit. So Janae was like, stop playing, Glory. Because she really has been the one pushing me through the pandemic. Like, this has not been easy for me. And I get really lazy. Like, if I'm not productive, I would lay down in bed all day. And she's like, get up. We're recording the podcast today, you know? So it's been good. It was a good way to stay busy.
So let everybody know where they can follow the podcast at.
We're on Spotify, Apple. It's just, if you just type Rich Vibes and Overdrafts, you can find it. It'll come up. And we also have the Twitter. It's RVO Podcast.
RVO Podcast.
Yeah.
And let everyone know where they can follow you at also.
Oh, it's just my name, but my name is complicated. So it's just GLORELYSMORA, Glorely Smora. And now that's me everywhere. You just look it up. So it's fine. Okay. If y'all find me, y'all find me. If y'all don't, it's fine. Y'all gonna see me eventually, you know.
Now I didn't get a chance to tell the people, you know, I don't know if you did, but you know, to my knowledge, to the homework that I've done, is that you got your start as a comedy student. Am I right?
I did. It wasn't,
yes, you did.
I wasn't planning to be a comedian. It wasn't like I grew up on Def Comedy Jam or Comic View. It wasn't something that I thought I could do, right? And I went to school by Stand Up New York, and every time I walk by there, I would just see the white comics. So I always felt like, oh, this is like a white people thing, or like, it's just not for me. I didn't see people like me doing it. So I'm like, it wasn't for me. And every time I would see it, it would be somebody like it would be like at a cafe and like really kind of boring. And I'm like, comedy is one of the most exciting things on earth. Like, why are you boring? You know? So I just didn't understand, for me, you know? So I have been working in corporate. I just feel like I never fit in anywhere. Like, I feel like, you know, in my dating life, I came up as too much because I didn't really have a hobby. I was just like, everything was in that relationship. And I was starting my own blog. I was trying to take different kind of classes to just like find myself. I did like a salsa class. I did a comedy class. And I hate telling people about the comedy class because I feel like some people try to discredit you for just being naturally funny. But at that point, I had already been 28 and I was, you know, I had my own kind of following from just being a professional in New York. I wasn't about to go out there and make myself look stupid. So I was like, I'm going to just take the class and like see what happens and take it back to work and just, you know, speak better at work. But then people really started fucking with it, like booking me on shows. And I was like, I'm not a comedian. Like, I just did one show. But then I ended up getting laid off my job, and I was like, I'm just gonna try it and see what happens. So I've been doing comedy full time for like 2 years now, 2 years and a half.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't something that I was planning on doing, or like where I felt like I could be a comedian. But then I just felt like I had stories to tell and my own perspective. And I think with me, and I'm not trying to like boost myself up, I just think I have like a comedic timing, or like I understand that naturally. And it's like, I don't really feel like you could teach that in the class. I think the classes, it was just like a safety net. It was like a safe open mic, but I don't think you could teach actual comedy in a class. I
No,
think you
because
could, yeah,
comedy is
like
life experiences.
right.
Comedy is like life experiences.
It's like, it's a lot of pain. Like, I think, I'm 30 now. I feel like I mentioned that like 5 times, but I need y'all to know that, I'm in a new decade. And I went through a lot growing up and like in my 20s. And I feel weird because sometimes I'm disconnected from that pain. But I remember going through things where it was really heartbreaking for me. And it's like, now I like laugh about it and shit, but it's like, there was a time when like I was severely depressed, or like just kind of, suicidal and shit like that. Like you can never see it because I'm like so happy all the time. But there's things that I've gone through, and like you can't really, until you're past it, like I don't know, like I just been able to synthesize those experiences and be like, and make something of it, and be like, we get a chance at life every day. You could be a legend. Why can't you be a legend? We're all gonna like die. Why can't you just be a fucking legend? Who are you to tell me I can be a legend in this lifetime? So that's just kind of like my perspective, how I flip it out to be like positive and shit. So. But I want people to know, I just feel like it's hard because I'm still new and I'm still figuring out my creative path. I've been through shit. I just don't talk about it, or like voluntarily say like, oh, I was in an abusive relationship. Like my man almost suffocated me. And I feel like people want to bring that out, but it's like, I'm going to tell you that in due time. Like, can you let me get to the joke? Like, I'm going to develop the joke and talk about it. I just can't, I don't want to talk about it right now. Or like, sometimes you don't want to remember shit. So it's just like, I feel like all the comics just want you to say like, oh, I've been through some shit and that's why you should respect me, versus like, how about you take some time to get to know somebody and you figure it out? It'll come out. Everything comes out with time. So yeah, that's my backstory.
Or a Netflix special.
Right, or maybe I'm saving it for the documentary. I can't just give y'all everything. But that's how I got started. And I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and I think I'm still at the very beginning. Like, yeah, it looks like I'm doing shit. And I've done a lot of cool things. Like I opened up for Yvonne Orgy. I've done stuff with HBO Latino. I've done a lot of great things that I think are great accomplishments, but I'm still just getting started. Like I haven't even like actually put my whole self into what I'm doing. And with this pandemic, it definitely pushed me back because I'm tired. I just been sleeping all day. Yep. But yeah, my friend, my journalistic investigator over here, I need to know, what's your sign? I need to know signs.
I'm a Libra.
Interesting. Okay.
There's really nothing bad to say about
it. There isn't nothing bad. I can't say that. That's it. It was just like, y'all like to seek the balance. Y'all can be a little passive aggressive sometimes. But
nothing bad to say. You can say all of that, and it just sounds good.
I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, that's my little background.
The last question I did have for you is I was gonna say, with all of this the coronavirus news and everything that's going on with Trump and everything, how is your household taking this Goya stuff? Like, what the fuck is going on? Y'all boycott it? Like, y'all fucking with it?
First of all, wow, we're gonna really drag the Dominicans into this.
I just want to know how y'all doing right now.
Let me tell you, my mom is in the Dominican Republic right now, so like I don't really feel like, the only thing I was telling Cash, the only thing we fuck with is with the beans. The beans, everything else is like, my household is not really like traditionally Dominican. Like we kind of like are very Americanized. So like, I don't really feel like my dad fucks with Goya like that, and neither does my mom. My mom is in the Dominican Republic right now with natural resources. My grandma has a garden, and we eat from the garden, so we don't need Goya.
I want to know how y'all and your tia was doing and making sure that they was all right.
That's so funny. You said tia. Yeah, but it's disappointing, and it's like, I mean, I'm really sad. Like I said, I keep mentioning the beans, but that's my favorite Goya product, but I gotta let it go now. I gotta let it go.
All right, as long as you still George Floyd with us, we good.
Absolutely. So, we gotta let that go.
So
Yeah, we can make your
okay,
own. You can make your own seasoning.
so if you go out to eat and they have black beans, are you gonna ask, is that
If
Goya?
it's Goya,
Yes. Are you gonna ask them, is it Goya?
with my family or in a restaurant,
In the restaurant.
Restaurant.
I might have to ask them then. Like, but I don't really be ordering. I like to make my own beans. I don't really be ordering beans unless it's like huevos rancheros. I don't really be ordering beans like that from the burrito spot. You're right. I might have to talk to them about that.
We're not gonna leave D-Wiseguy out of this. He's Espanol too.
Espanol, I'm done. I'm letting y'all know I'm not fucking with Goya. The family ain't fucking with Goya. And every time it's some new shit, I be in the group chat like, family, this is not what we're doing right now. You know, I gotta talk to them. So it's like I'm like the ringleader in the family, so they respect it, and it is what it is. And I'm really proud of people. Like I've seen a lot of like Latinos say they're not fucking with Goya. I'm like, thank God, because I was about to not fuck with y'all further.
Nah,
you know?
well, I'm about to use the last of the adobo, so I'm done.
Oh,
Yeah, they said there was like a post going around and saying like, don't throw the food away because the people starving, but don't buy it no more. Just take the wrap, take the label off, finish the rest of the stupid product that you bought by mistake, and then let it go forever. You know? That's so funny. He really came in strong with that girl. I'm done. Yo, the adobo was holding it down for everything because it was really like a all-in-one package.
Hell yeah.
It was like an easy bake thing. Now I'm gonna really have to learn how to do it.
You be like, oh shit. You be like, yo, this needs some flavor.
Right.
Throw
Boom,
some adobo on that
adobo.
bit.
But now it's done for that. That's funny.
What's next? So what's next? Lowry's? Lowry's is next.
They bet not.
I never had Lowry's. I never heard, I might have to do Lowry's.
Not.
But we gotta look who owns Lowry's because we gotta look into all these brands now.
Well, Lowry's own Lowry's. We fucking with Lowry's. Like Lowry's, okay. What's this here sauce? Some shit like that. We just not gonna get over.
No, that's fine as long as it's on the list.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, Goya was wilding. And it's also illegal for Trump to promote product like that. That's a regulation, fair trade regulation. So I'm just like, they all need to go to jail.
He don't care. He don't care.
Ain't the dude that made Goya? Ain't he Mexican?
I'm not sure.
Well, he ain't from here, and Trump don't like people that ain't from here. Because last time I checked, it was Mexican.
It was weird because he has this whole, I don't know, the whole thing is weird. I think it was just like a weird thing. This whole pandemic has been weird. Like every headline this year has just been out of the world. Like I'm like, who is running 2020? This whole year is crazy.
We in a real life movie, for real.
For real. And the unemployment checks coming to an end. I just hope that they find it in their hearts to continue that. I don't know what other laws they passing under that, but just give the deposits. And I don't want to be bothered,
I wish I could get unemployment. They got me still going to work. I got a dude that I used to make fun of because he used to have a bullshit job. I used to make fun of him all the time. Now this nigga making almost as much as me with the fucking just over unemployment.
Yeah.
Damn. Wait, what was the bullshit job? Judgmental Libra.
I'm not gonna put his out there. Word. I ain't gonna do that because then he'll watch it. He know I'm talking about him, and he think that I don't respect this shit. I don't do all that.
Yeah, we don't want to get we don't want no issue, no drama.
But
I think a lot of people, it's fine.
She tried to trip me up. You see, I'm a Libra. She tried to trip me up, but
yeah.
And that's it. I was gonna say the loyalty, but Libras, they could be loyal. I felt like at first I was like, oh my God, as a comic, I'm gonna just fail in life. But then I realized I could get self-employment. I was like, I made the right career choice. Because I would have been working right now if I was in a comic. I would have been doing. I can't imagine what it's like to be working through a pandemic. Like I'd be tired.
I'm working through the pandemic, and
I am too.
Yeah, we.
Oh, y'all! Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to throw. My bad.
Y'all
not tired.
Yeah. We risk our life every day. We essential as shit. Yes. They try to tell us we essential. Don't do that. We got a title.
And I love that for y'all. And I couldn't imagine what it's like to be essential right now.
Shit, I gotta go to work right after this.
It's terrible. Nothing good. Nothing good comes up. I want.
Nope.
Have you been one of these essential comics and have done one of these like drive-through shows?
No, I'm not an essential comic. The community doesn't fuck with me like that. I'm not an essential comic. I'm a regular comic.
I've been seeing a lot of them over here.
That's so funny. Essential comic. That was like
man. They've been performing outside, performing in front of like drive-throughs and shit. So
and diners.
Telling jokes to cars like they in the Transformers, like they telling the jokes.
But you gotta get your shit. Everybody deals with shit differently, and some people don't want to be in the house. It's hard to be in the house, so maybe they wanted to get the fuck out and do comedy shows. So I try not to judge.
I'm not judging.
Nah. I know you're not judging. I'm just letting you know I try not to judge,
I think it's a joke in itself. I don't judge it. I just think
the essential comic joke is funny. I laughed.
It's absolutely hilarious. That's all.
Yeah,
that's funny.
The cars are honking like dollar vans.
But I can't tell they honking because they think it's funny or because they want you off the stage.
Right.
So I don't know. That's hilarious. But I'm not an essential. I'm a regular comedian.
So guys, we're about to come to the end of the show, unfortunately. I want to thank y'all for coming on, especially you, Glory.
I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Let everybody know where to follow you at.
It's just my name, Glorely Smora, and that's everything on Twitter, my website, Instagram.
Oh, hell no. She gonna say that. You gotta say that again.
Right.
Glorely Smora.
You act like niggas got accents. You don't got an accent or a tilde.
Well, we're gonna have to all learn how to spell it eventually,
I'm saying you got a tilde. I don't want to spell it all.
It's such a long ass name. Oh my god.
You got a tilde or accent in your name somewhere?
It's no accent. It's just Glorely Smora.
Oh,
maybe like in English, Glorely Smora. Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god. Thank you. I can say that for myself. Thank you. But that's where y'all can find me. And I had a good time. And I just hope that y'all are safe in your entanglements.
Yo, Kel, you got anything? You got anything to say before we close?
Hey, man. My name is Kelly Robb. For those that don't know me, you're gonna catch me more on here on the Comedian Catch with my man D-Wiseguy. I'm sorry for coming a little bit late. I want to say thank you again to Gloria for holding it down. I want to say continue to do exactly what the hell you've been doing, and that's winning.
That.
If y'all don't know Gloria, y'all need to get in tune. She has plenty of stand up online, so you go ahead, figure it out. Stay tuned. She got the podcast going on, and that's that. You can follow me on It's Kelly Robb. I'm here. I'm gonna be here.
I love it. I love it.
Yo, so make sure y'all follow her on all her pages. She's about to be legendary.
I am.
Make sure you follow. Yes, she is. And make sure you follow her podcast with Janae. What's that again? Rich Vibes and Overdrives.
Rich Vibes and Overdrives.
Right.
Yes,
make sure you follow Kelly Robb. And make sure you follow your boy D-Wiseguy on Comedian Catch, Comedian_Catch. I'm here every Thursday on WEMS Radio. And we out.
All right, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
All right.
And wash your hands and shit.
That what?
Yeah.
Everybody wash their hands and shit, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put this interview up, D?
Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube.
All right, send me the link when you finish it.